last one, something strange gives them pause.
Bro, come on, don't do this, bro.
Ain't going out tonight. I'm just gonna be in my room. I just wanna be in my room. I just wanna be in my room.
Alright, y'all, look. Let me take off the glasses because I need to get serious, okay? And I need you niggas to take me seriously, okay? I want to say it's been a while, but it hasn't been a while. We're live right now on twitch.tv/Heemwick. Just let me do this intro, you feel me? Just let me do this intro for the YouTube. Shout out to YouTube, man. Shout out to YouTube. We're watching Japan's Strangest Unsolved Mystery because I was about to watch another video by Nick Crowley, but I realized Nexpo. I was thinking about Nexpo. Shout out to the GOAT. And I seen that he uploaded some new videos. So we're gonna watch this one. And I'm excited to get straight into it because I really like his videos. He has a way of making videos very eerie, you know, setting a tone, a certain ambiance. And I don't really know what the mystery is, but I guess that's why we're here to find out. So let's hop straight into it, man. If you like the video, like the video. Let me stop yapping. If you like the video, subscribe. At issues.team _ on Instagram. Issuesrestoftheworld.com. Maybe we'll get y'all some fire pieces. And let's watch this creepy ass video. There's a mystery in
Monday.
the woods. This shit is like movie quality, dog.
The peak is shrouded in fog. It's the aftermath of one of the most violent storms to hit the area in months. A search helicopter powers through the mist, scouring the region for a pair of hikers from Tokyo who set out the day prior and haven't been seen or heard from since. This hunt has been ongoing for hours, sunlight dwindling as search teams comb every crevice, yet find no trace of anyone around. But as nightfall takes its grip, enveloping the area in complete blackness, suddenly, something strange enters their view.
I need a snack.
Just south of Mount Asahi Dake, a crudely constructed, massive SOS sign beckons from a clearing. It's undeniable that the missing hikers have made this, and it's a damn good thing they did, because with conditions like these, finding them otherwise would have been nearly impossible. The team swarms the area, with newfound hope that these hikers just might be hiding nearby.
They're
They
still
search
alive.
and search and search, until finally, they find them.
Oh, and it's like, holy shit, I'm sorry. It's like his pacing for like the way he says things, bro. I don't know, man. He was just made for this. Finally, they find. Wait, no, they find them. Like, damn.
About a mile north, the two men emerge from a cave. They are completely disoriented, battered, and exhausted, but most prominently are in complete disbelief that the rescuers found them. As they're pulled up into the aircraft, the search team reassures them that they're gonna be okay before commending them on their efforts while out there.
What were they doing?
We couldn't have found you without your help, they claim. You guys did a really great job building
With the
this
sign, yeah.
The men pause for a minute.
Why? First of all, do you hear the PS1 ass, PS2 ass sound effects? And then he got the text at the bottom like this is some short horror game. Come on, bruh. He's really immersing me right now.
That sign. The men pause for a
I
minute,
heard that.
visibly confused. I'm sorry. We didn't build the sign. we have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh no. Why is it always scary when some shit like that happens, where people mistake people for others or something? Oh no way.
You know, I'll admit, the island of Hokkaido is beautiful. It's a landscape adorned with volcanic mountaintops, trails with serene views, and a multitude of steam vents giving the area an almost dreamlike aesthetic. It's no wonder that it's one of the most popular hiking spots in Japan, as no matter what time of year you go, you're bound to have an experience you'll never forget.
Okay. Is that a good thing though?
From the summit of Mount Asahidake, it was 2.6 miles directly south where the SOS sign awaited. Resting in a relatively flat wetland, it was constructed with 19 cleanly cut birch tree logs, each measuring at around 16 feet long.
Is that a lot?
Interestingly, the deviation down here is considerably longer than the main hiking trail on the mountain, making its existence entirely perplexing. As far as it's known, there are no trails south of this mountain, implying that whoever built it had to have made their diversion from the north. A detour littered with steep cliffs,
We can check it out after this.
and even the turbulent Chubetsu River. At this point, it's completely unknown how this person got here, and for Japanese police, it was undeniable that a
Speaking of backrooms, since you said it, bro, not me. Shameless plug. Alright, shameless plug. Oh shit, not the Twitch. We're gonna plug to the YouTube, man. Is it here? Yes, it is. I just uploaded 5 Crash Outs Escape the Backrooms Part 2, man. Heemwick Gaming. Go check out the gaming channel. Go check out the gaming channel. Go check out the gaming channel. We play the Backrooms game. Okay. We got 2 parts up now. The clips are actually doing stupid numbers. Go check out
The mystery was brewing on the mountain. Someone is still out there, likely pleading for help.
Oh, the game is called Backrooms Escape Together. I keep wanting to call it Escape the Backrooms Together. I just feel like, you know, that would have been a better name, but the whole thing is that Backrooms is the title, so, you know, they have to work with... Anyway. Oh, yeah.
Is still out there, brewing and got here. And for Japanese police, it was undeniable that a mystery was brewing on the mountain. Someone is still out there, likely pleading for help.
Damn, like, that's crazy. Imagine they go and pick somebody else up that's not you.
One day later, a second team is dispatched to probe the area for any signs of hikers in distress, this time with emphasis on the wetland the sign sits in. And while they all held out hope of finding someone still alive, unfortunately, just a few short hours into their search, they'd uncover quite the contrary.
Holy.
Hidden near the SOS sign are scattered human remains covered in bite marks from wildlife, and nearby, a backpack containing various items.
Yo.
A Sony Walkman, 4 cassette tapes, toothpaste, a bar of soap, and a towel. At first glance, it's obvious that the belongings and the human bones are connected. However, a curious question lingered in everyone's mind. How did this person with enough energy and strength to build an SOS sign out of 19 massive logs allow themselves to die in nature? For the rescue team, nothing further was discovered that day. For what it's worth, though, This seemed like a pretty open and shut case. Locals have claimed that the weather on this mountain is volatile, with thunderstorms rolling in with hardly any notice. Perhaps this person got turned around, mistakenly made their way down here, and spent their final days awaiting help. That never came. The sight at the SOS sign and the story it tells is grim. But
Bro, that's
all
a
things
tragic way to
considered,
go out.
this case, again, seemed relatively straightforward. Someone passed away here and built an SOS sign before it happened. The only question really was, who was it? And how exactly did they get here?
Damn, bro, and it's like, yeah, you got people on the internet who will make videos about you and stuff like that, bro, but like, you just didn't get found. Like, think about all the people that were lost in the catacombs, bro. That's scary as hell, bro. That is scary as hell. But also, I mean, you decided to go in there, so I mean, you know, but yo, like, like that one story, but honestly, we might have to just go back and watch Nick Crowley, cause you know what I'm saying, you know what? Maybe I am starting to like his videos.
2 days pass,
So it's so
and
good, bro.
examiners from the Asahikawa Medical University notify Hokkaido police that the human bones belong to a female. Reportedly, she was about 5 foot 3 inches tall, had type O blood, was somewhere between 20 and 40 years old at the time of her death, carried bone fractures in multiple locations, and died within the span of 1 to 3 years prior.
Damn.
Aside from this, there was no further identifying information about her, and effectively, she was consistent.
It's like, what? Why though?
Something is wrong. This doesn't make any sense at all.
Why is this shit so creepy, bro? Why does he do this?
Upon calculating the weight of the SOS logs by utilizing numerous wood weight charts online, I found that 16-foot segments of birchwood weighs anywhere.
I was about to say that too, cause listen, I mean, I know what we say, and I know this might sound crazy, you know, especially in 2024, but he said 15 logs, which sounds like a lot. He's making this person seem very physically capable, but you're telling me it's a 5'2" woman between 20 and 40? 5'3". I don't know how strong she was, but you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy, bro.
Between 150
And she seemed like, with the materials that were in the bag, it seems like a regular person just out hiking. Not even hiking, probably somebody who like lives in the woods or something. Cause you brought soap, you brought a towel, like almost like you're camping, right? A camper. Boom. I don't know.
and 400 pounds each, depending on diameter. Multiply this by the 19 segments this sign is comprised of, and we have a whopping total range of 2,850 and 7,600 pounds of total weight making up this sign. So with this information, we're left to assume that a 5'3" female with fractured bones had the energy and strength to not only cut down 19 massive trees with tools that were never found, but also had the stamina to transport anywhere between 1 and 3 tons of weight completely by herself. Let's not forget either that all of this was done after taking a treacherous 2.6-mile diversion down the south side of the mountain, undoubtedly causing considerable exhaustion from the elements. Without help, constructing this sign alone is an extraordinary feat. A feat
How did they come down to that conclusion though? That the person, I wasn't really paying attention. Whatever.
that doesn't add
We'll let it
up
go.
given the context here.
Let it go.
So was this person actually alone? Or was there perhaps someone else? that died there with her.
Damn. Damn. Dun dun. Yeah. Nexpo broadcast system. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright guys, before we continue down the rabbit hole, I'd like to tell you about tonight's video sponsor, Incognito.
Damn.
It's late at HQ, and investigators are scouring for clues. Of everything they uncovered, the cassette tapes seem to be the most promising lead on uncovering the identity of this woman.
Whoa.
And so, they put them in their tape player and begin to listen. As they play, they're met with musical tracks taken from various anime TV shows.
Yeah.
However,
W
once
culture.
they make it to the last one, something strange gives them pause.
Pause. Bro, come on, don't do this, bro. Translator.
Despite the bones being female,
Yeah, it does
the
sound like
voice
a
on this recording,
It-
clearly in distress, belongs to a man. And the translation: SOS, help me. I'm stuck on the cliff. SOS, help me. I'm at the location where I first met the helicopter. The Sasa is deep and I can't climb up. Please pick me up here. Interesting.
Now listen, there's a conclusion that we could come to here. You know, in the big 2024, man. You know what I'm saying? We about to go and act like this is a separate person, but you know.
Aside from the blatant parallels to the SOS sign, I can't help but find it strange that this man uses not a single phrase implying that he's with someone. I don't know about you, but if I were stranded somewhere with another person, I'd plead for someone to help us, because we are the ones stuck here. In this recording, though, it sounds as if he's completely alone, unaware that a female is stranded in the exact same area, almost like, to him, this female doesn't exist. The woman who the bones belong to and the man who the voice belongs to almost exist in a vacuum. Remnants of two people discovered in the exact same spot, completely unaware of the other's existence. The only thing tying them together, an SOS sign nearly impossible for one person to build, and whispers of an agonizing death. A sight of demise that we are years too late with uncovering.
Yeah, actually true, bro. It said her bones were there for like 1 to 3 years, which is like, it's kind of soon when you think about like a person being stranded, but it's like you weren't there in time to save them. So it's like, fuck, you know?
Fascinated by this case, a Japanese reporter named Koyo Abaratani sets out to the site of the SOS sign in search of any clues the police may have overlooked. While uncovering anything new was one hell of a long shot, surprisingly, after they dug through some tree roots, they actually uncovered something.
No. I mean, yes?
Just 165 feet north of the SOS sign and hidden under foliage was a large hole containing various belongings.
Ooh.
2 cameras, a notebook,
W.
and most prominently,
An
a
ID.
license.
Ooh.
This ID belonged to a man named Kinji Iwamura, someone from Kanan City in southern Japan, over 800 miles south. This discovery was massive because, for all anyone knew, this was bound to be their guy.
Right.
I mean, this had to have been the voice on the recording, right?
Imagine it's a
And
third
of course,
person?
this man must have been associated in some capacity with the female bones found at the same site. While she may be, up to this point, still unidentified, at the very least, those investigating this case finally had a name. Kinji Iwamura.
Oh, right, you know who he is, so you can go back and then you can figure out like where
It's
maybe
the
he was
middle
going
of
around that time.
summer, and 24-year-old Kinji Iwamura
Yes.
sets out for Mount Asahidake for a short hiking trip. He arrives at a small mountain lodge at the base of the summit and only plans to be there for a couple nights. Later on, he informs the hotel owner that he's embarking on a hike, ignoring warnings of a storm that would hit the area that night. Hesitant, the owner agrees, and so
Damn.
Kinji sets off from the hotel lobby and embarks into the great unknown.
Oh, bro thought he was going on a training arc.
As time ticks by,
Is the video loud
the
enough?
sky darkens. The hotel owner becoming increasingly anxious and with no way to contact him to confirm how he's faring in this unstable weather. Hours pass without a word from him. The storm comes and goes. The clock approaches. Days pass without a word from him. Weeks come and go. Kinji Iwamura never turned up. He was never seen again.
Damn. If only
With the
Fuck.
discovery of Kinji's ID, police were certain that they'd crack this case. Reportedly, determining gender from bone fragments isn't always accurate, and for all they knew, they had to belong to him. From here, they tracked down and contacted Kinji's family, believing that this was the final piece of verification they needed to close this case.
ain't no
Their
way.
confidence was at an all-time high, catalyzed by his parents later claiming that he was an avid fan of anime and that the backpack they uncovered indeed belonged to him. And so, at last, the police played the cassette tape for them, certain that they'd
no.
recognize the voice of their son. And as fate would have it, by the grace of God, they didn't recognize this voice at all.
Why did he set it up like
They
that?
have no idea who this person is. With no evidence of foul play, Hokkaido police, bizarrely, continued to run with their theory that this sign was built by Kinji Iwamura. They cast aside the consensus about the bones, the lack of identification with the voice, and simply ran with it. It took just 11 days for them to close this case, and to this day, the mystery surrounding the SOS sign has been cast into the void of history, solved to them.
But like they would recognize their son's voice. I mean, I don't know. Like you could just say like, "Oh nah, it's him." I mean, maybe he grew up, his voice changed. Maybe they haven't seen him in a while. I don't know though. Like
Yet completely bewildering to the world surrounding them. By 1990, the bones were re-examined, and the consensus underwent a surprising change. Reportedly, they never belonged to a woman with type O blood,
What?
but rather a man with type A.
Okay, so it was him. And what the hell?
Why the hell?
Listen, I'm not gonna say it too much, and I'm not gonna say this too loud, but I don't like how they could just go back and rewrite shit and be like, oh well actually, I don't. Well actually, what if they just sweeping this shit under the rug? You know? I don't know, man.
How were the bones suddenly reclassified? Who was the man recorded on Kenji's tapes?
Oh, that's not even.
How were these massive trees carried and placed by just one person? And how were these trees chopped down at all? Taking a broader look at the landscape, we've established that the site of the SOS sign was reached by a diversion from the main Mount Asahidake trail. As we've seen, though, multiple hikers have done this. So how have they all made the exact same mistake? So as it turns out, there's an incredibly confusing landmark on the mountain. It's a boulder called Safe Rock, and it's typically used by climbers to orient themselves on their trek, as once you encounter it, you're required to take a right turn to continue your journey to the peak. Bizarrely, however, there sits another identically shaped boulder right next to Safe Rock called Fake Safe Rock. Unlike the former, using this one as a guide diverts hikers to the much more dangerous south side of the mountain. Terrain
why
littered
is it
with steep
there?
cliffs and intense grades filled with a specific type of bamboo, known locally as sasa. In recent years, Fake Safe Rock has been marked with a rope to signal that you shouldn't follow it.
Okay.
However, to this day, hikers often misinterpret
Okay.
it for the actual Safe
Yeah, that's why they. Okay. Makes sense.
Rock, adding even
They don't
further
get
confusion
confused.
to an already disorienting situation.
But yes,
I'm sure you're finding this convoluted as I'm explaining it to you. Now
I
imagine
am.
if
Wow.
you were faced with this dilemma while exhausted,
I just. Oh, that's the
in the
one.
wild, and completely alone. To this day, it's believed that both the Tokyo hikers and Kenji Iwamura made this mistake, leaving them both to be stranded and completely helpless.
Damn.
So with this in mind, let's go forth and entertain the idea that Kenji Iwamura was the only one involved here. Let's just say that everything belongs to and was done by no one but him.
Really? I do want to say,
So it went
I find it so crazy how like you see shit happen in movies where like people like die insane deaths, you know? Unfortunately, of course. And it's like really gruesome, but to think that something like that would happen in real life is insane. Like imagine somebody like really dead ass fell off a cliff or got into a real ass car accident or you know like actually got hit by a bus in GTA RP. You know like shit like that really happens and it's insane, bro. It's insane to think that like I don't know, man. You could really go through such a tragic experience. Man. Rest in peace to everybody, man. All the good people out there. Damn.
a little something like this. Kenji Iwamura begins his trek from the lodge and makes his way up the Asahidake Trail. Because of the impending storm, it's possible that there were few hikers up on the mountain. He makes his journey all the way up before the sky darkens and dense fog rolls in. He encounters the fake Safe Rock, confusing it for the real one, and makes a right turn.
That's
leaving
hypothetical,
himself.
right?
As the day bleeds by, he begins to panic, the sky darkening as his psyche becomes ever more anxious. He recognizes not a single thing about the path he's on and it becomes
my
rapidly
God,
clear to him
no.
that
He's
he's
lost.
venturing nowhere near the summit. Completely turned around and with no other choice, he continues, following some semblance of a path, even though it's only heading down. Is he heading back to camp? Are there any towns in this direction? Where exactly is he going? As hours pass, he becomes more panicked and begins screaming for help, for anyone to hear him. He falls off a cliff on the way down and
Oh
breaks
my
2 bones.
God,
And so,
no.
in immense distress, pulls out his Sony Walkman to record an SOS message and later plays it on repeat to save himself from damaging his voice.
That's a genius.
As he continues to limp downward, he encounters and crosses the Chupetsu River before eventually landing at his final destination, the flat wetland where he would build the SOS and where the two would inevitably remain.
Used all that strength to do that shit. Like, God damn, bro. Like, damn, your last breaths.
You know, on the surface, this theory makes sense. However, when you begin to pick apart the finer details, this story rapidly falls apart.
Okay.
As we know, the only cliffs in the vicinity are up the mountain, and if these are what Kenji's referring to in his recording, assuming it's him, then he made it to the wetland with broken bones and in excruciating pain.
Yeah.
Even if we give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he had every tool in the world,
Yeah.
building a sign of this scale would take immense effort for just
Yeah.
one person. It's been said that something like this would take 2 days to construct for someone healthy.
And he did that with
So how
broken
in the
bones.
world did Kenji do this while critically injured?
Yeah. His shit, his fucking health bar is blinking and shit. And he over here just chopping trees down like he's He-Man or something. Come on, bro.
There was no axe ever found. And why would he have one on a mountain hike anyway? On top of this, the condition of the bones indicated that he would have been incredibly frail by the time he passed away. There is no way this man made this thing alone, leading me to believe that Kenji Iwamura, perhaps, wasn't the only one to die there. Consider this. Kenji is on the hike, and somewhere during his climb, encounters someone else out there. The two are both on their way to the mountain peak, and so they pair up and continue their trek together. As the fog rolls in, the two begin to undergo equally critical errors, making their turn at fake safe rock and getting lost down the mountain's south end. Injured, one of them makes a recording while the other pleads to keep going, and so they continue downward.
But, well, yeah, he said one. Okay, because remember we said that the dude was on the recording and it sounded like he was by himself, though. So, like, did he just leave the other? No, because it had to be the one that had the broken bones. I don't know. This
Cross the
theory is
river and make it to the wetland where
probably gonna fall
Kenji
apart
lies
there.
in agony. It's possible that this other hiker, for some reason, had an axe, and over the next few days, made this sign with incredibly limited help from Kenji. Kenji knows he can't go any further, though, and so, in a final fit of desperation, the other hiker grabs a handful of supplies and takes off to find them help.
But even then, he's like, help me, help
In a
me,
way,
help me.
this could explain why police never found an axe. This could explain why the voice on the recording wasn't Kenji. And this, potentially, could explain how this sign was even made in the first place.
Yeah.
The human
okay.
body can go 3 days without water, and perhaps this unknown person used their last in a final push for rescue.
Hey, if you
At
don't
the
drink
end of
that
it all, though,
lake, river,
they would never make
water.
it, and instead would die a slow death.
Damn.
Surrounded by darkness, by wilderness, and in a forest. Completely abandoned.
Alright, well, at least he died in nature, bro. Animals die in nature all the time. You don't gotta make it sound so depressing. Just return to the earth. Jeez, man.
Perhaps their body is still out there, but we just haven't found it yet. It's a
got
tragic
Eminem shoes
end
on.
to someone who may not even exist, but goddammit, it's the only way this story makes any sense. Kenji Iwamura had to have gotten help from someone else on the mountain that night.
Bro clipping through the
There
ground.
is just no way in which he couldn't have. I refuse to believe that there was just one person on Mount Asahidake that night. The circumstances are just too extraordinary for one to pull this off alone. The broken bones, the stranger on the tape, the rapid closure, someone migrating literal tons of weight after vital injuries. Everything about this conflicts with the reality of the situation we've been given. These theories, as far-fetched as they are the only way this makes any sense in my brain. And even then, I'm still assuming that someone had an axe, assuming that an entire second person was there, and assuming that this other person died and was never found elsewhere on the mountain.
Okay.
No matter which way we approach this, nothing makes sense without drawing vectors to things that may or may not have happened. And to me, that's what makes this incident so incredibly perplexing. The man on the recording never stated that he was with someone.
Yes.
And even if we assume that Kenji wasn't alone, the only way this story makes any sort of sense, it's almost like the two of them never even knew the other existed. It's like two people encountered the exact same spot, just on completely different timelines.
Yeah. Wow, bro's talking to nobody. Holy. Representation.
It goes without saying that we can theorize for hours about what took place on Mount Asahidake and how the SOS sign, given the evidence we currently have, shouldn't exist. But out of everything, the one detail that haunts me most about this is the simple fact that at the end of everything, the police have never formally identified the bones as belonging to Kenji. And this is after they were reclassified to belonging to a male. After the story spread to the world around them. And after the mystery surrounding the SOS sign and all of its bizarre inconsistencies had spearheaded this into one of the most captivating unsolved cases in history.
Is it solved?
There has never been an official answer as to who the bones belong to.
He's about to tell us he
And
knew
to
it.
this day, nobody knows when the SOS sign was made. And who in the world built it.
For real. Nexpo with love. W Nexpo, man. WVid. WVid. Thank you to the patrons. Shout out to the patrons, man. Shout out to everybody involved in this project, man. Shout out to y'all. W creepy, W news, W history lesson, W horror, W yeah. W Nexpo. I don't know. I can't say I'm a huge fan of these type of videos, but Nexpo just makes such great content. Like, are you seeing this? This is amazing, bro. I feel bad for all the people that may have been involved in this, because we still don't even know who all of them were. Honestly, like, yeah, they found the dude, Kenji's stuff, but his parents didn't recognize his voice. The bones weren't even, like, matching his description. And he couldn't have built the SOS sign, so, I mean, maybe they just only found his belongings? I don't know, it seems like there's, like, at least 3 different people in this situation. Possibly. Potentially. Damn, man. That's the video. If you like the video, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. If you like the video, subscribe. We're almost at 1K, man. Please make sure y'all subscribe, okay? More vids coming soon, though. I have been focusing on the gaming channel just a little bit. Just a little bit. I feel like it's going to be a little easier to build, so yeah. But we still going to be here because y'all already know, man. We be very consistent on this channel, man. We came this far, so I can't just stop uploading. You feel me? And I know y'all. I mean, y'all here to support me. I gotta give y'all the content. You feel me? And y'all gonna get the content regardless. But anyway, that's all I got. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. It's probably gonna be that Nick Crowley vid though. What if they just sweeping this shit under the rug? You know? I don't know, man.